Hey y'all, how's it going? I am Joy, and welcome back to more Variant Sudoku on the channel. Today we are tackling the wonderful world of Fog of War. I absolutely love this variant. It is so much fun to play, and so I thought I would go to full deck and missing a few cards, and their puzzles on the gas collection because I'm not exactly a brainiac like Simon and Mark are for cracking the cryptic and other amazing Sudoku channels out there. I am extremely casual, not exactly novice, but extremely casual, and just wanting to kind of dip my toes into the water of variant Sudoku content. So, I wanted to try this one out because it looks fairly decent. I can already see some things that I can do with it that will give me loads of digits. So, without any further ado, let's take a look at the rules. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. If you don't know what that means, that just means that every row, column, and 3x3 region or box must have a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. Now, killer cage rules are applying as well, which means that digits inside the cage, marked by the dashed lines around the cells, cannot repeat, and they must sum to the value shown in the upper left corner of the cage. Cage totals will always appear in the leftmost cell of the highest row reached by that cage. So as you can see here, we have a 4 cage, so we know what this will total up to. It's going to add up to 4, so it can't have a repeated digit, so we know that this is a 1 and a 3. But we will get to actually placing your digits here in a second. Next up is my favorite, Fog of War. Only part of the puzzle is visible at the start. As you can see, we have these little corners that are visible. As correct digits are placed, the fog will clear in the 8 surrounding cells. So if we get this cell correctly, then all of these cells around it will turn visible. So it is a very, very fun constraint, very, very fun rule set. If you guys want to try your hand at some variant Sudoku as well, go ahead and check that out. Now, I am going to unpause my timer again, and let's get started on Chase the Fog Away. Now, as I was saying, we know that this is a 1-3 pair because it is in a 4 cage, which means that neither of these can be a 2, or else it would be repeating in its cage. Same for the 4 cage down here. Also, I'm going to turn off the defaults being the actual fill-in option because I don't want to accidentally click into it. That is the big thing about these Fog of War puzzles. Do not just randomly enter digits in the fog or numbers in the fog in hopes of revealing them. That is a very cheap way of filling out a puzzle, and it's not using logic at all. So just a little warning, just do not do that, please. Okay, so now we have a 3 cage in the corner, which we know is a 1-2 pair, because 2 digits adding up to 3 must be a 1 and a 2. So, our logic here comes in from the fact that we have a 1-3 pair looking at this corner cell. Basically, what that means is that since we already know that there is a 1 in this column down here, this cannot be a 1. So we in fact know that this is a 2. I will now switch over to my big number so I don't accidentally hit something. We know that is a 2 and that is a 1. By the same token, we can go down here and say that this is a 1 and this is a 3 in the corner. I absolutely love that Sven has put that in because it's such a fun little quirk. I absolutely adore it. Now, we know that a 17 cage and 2 cells has to be a 8-9, and 16 in 2 cells is 7-9, which means, you guessed it, there is a 9 in row 8 that is looking at this cell, meaning it is an 8. And that gives us a 9 here, and a 9 here, because this is the same 7-9 pair as over yonder way is. Now I have a 7 cage. But now the 7 cage doesn't stop here, because as you can see by these dotted lines, it extends over to this cell. 7 in 3 numbers is a 1, 2, 4, I believe. So this is a 2, 4 pair, and this is a 1. Simple as that. Now what? Wonderful. All right, so are these both 7 cages? They are. Okay, well, we can't see where they go or how far they go, because this, for all I know, could be a 1, 2, 4 as well. The timer on my game is going to be so wonk, just because I keep getting interrupted. I'm sorry about that. Alright, so back to the puzzle we go. Where do we look now? We have another 17 cage here, which I suppose we know is an 8-9 pair. Oh, now that means that this 16 cage is not a 2-cell 16 cage. Because if that was the case, it would be breaking this. Oh, well, even better than that. We have an 8-9 pair looking at this cell, so that's a 7. Oh, joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Nice. Okay. And we have a 14 cage, which can't be 9, 5. So it's got to be 8, 6. Which means we know the order. Whoops, that's the wrong button. Good job, me. Alright, 8, 6 for you there. We have a 6 cage, which we know is 3 cells, and it's a 1, 2, 3. And this cannot be a 1. Now this is probably going to get disambiguated by the 7 cage. Because if this is, say, like a 5-2, then we know this is a 3. If this is a 3-4, then we know this is a 2. So, we know there's definitely a 1 over here. Let me just do a little corner thing so I can make sure that I know, because that also means there's a 1 in one of these 3. I thought I could get a 1 in this box. Already do. 1 in this box is not really restricted as in one of these 2 cells by X-wing logic. X-wing logic is that in these 2 rows at the bottom, we know that a 1 is counted for in these 4 cells. So we have 2 1s in these 4 cells for these 2 bottom rows, so we can't possibly put another 1 in any of these cells, which bops it up here based on this 1 seeing this box. Now, this one is another 14 cage, just like over here, and it also cannot be 9, 5, because we have a 9 looking at this cell and a 9 looking at this cell. So we get another 8, 6 pair, which does diddly, but I suppose it gives me an 8 in one of these. No, it doesn't, because there's an 8 in that. I'm dumb. But that gives us an 8 up here. I didn't see it. I'm horrible at seeing, like, given numbers, even if I'm the one who gave them to me. So that is great to know. This is a 5 cage without a 1, so it's a 2, 3 pair. Okay. This is a 6 cage, but we don't know if it's a 3-cell 6 cage or a 2-cell 6 cage as of yet, which is unfortunate. These cells are a 2, 4, 5. Not that it really does a whole lot of good, but it's worth marking down. Makes these 2 cells a 5, 6 pair, which means that a 6 is in one of these 2. Might be helpful. Who knows? There might be a cage hidden in this foggy area. Yeah, 16 in 3 cells. I suppose, I mean, if this was a 6, 7 pair, that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? However, I don't know for sure. Really wish I had more information about this box, but I don't know how I'm supposed to get that. Eight in this box is in one of these two. For what good that does. Uh, hmm. Okay, well, I appear to be a little bit stuck here. Okay, well, we know this extends, so let me think. How do you make 16 in 3 cells without using a 9? Could be 853. No, it can't because there's an 8 looking at it, so without using that. So it'd be a 7, and then we would need 2 that sum up to 9. So it could be 7 here and a 6, 3. It could be 7, 4, 5, and that's it, because we can't use an 8 or a 1. So 7, 4, 5 is an option. Let me go ahead and just mark that down so I'm not forgetting myself. That can't be a 7. If it was a 6, then we would need 2 cells that add up to 10, which would not be a 9 or an 8. So this would have a 3 in it. Is that what I'm saying then? So it has a 6 in it. It also has a 3 in it. So if there's a 6 up here... Whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do... Oh, nuts. Okay, I want to do this. If there is a 6 here, then there would be a 3 in one of these as well. But that would also accompany a 7. So we do know that there is a 7 in one of these 2 cells, which means actually this can't be a 6, 7. Well, no, it could. It could be 6, 7, with 7 here and a 6 here. And then the 7 for the 7, 4, 5 would be there. Interesting. Okay. Well, we know that a 3 doesn't go in the 13 cage, regardless of how big the 13 cage is, which is, it's probably going to be either a 2 cell or a 3 cell. We're not sure yet. But what we do know is that a 3 is either in here or it's here. And if it's here, then we know that it is a 2 and a 1, which would also give us a 2 here and a 2 here, and a 4 here, which would place a 4 in my 13 cage, which would be helpful. But I am not sure exactly how I'm supposed to figure that out. Huh. Oh boy, I really, really dislike getting stuck here. Like, I will say that as much as I said no guessing, I would have easily done logic on this and said that this was a 7-6 pair, even though there's no way of actually knowing. Because in this box, we need a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Which I suppose the only place it could go would be here, wouldn't it? Well, no, because this could be a 4-2. Ah, darn. Or a 5-1 for that matter. Shoot. Okay. Well. Right, because we don't know if this is a... I would like to hazard a guess and say that this is a 2-cell 6 cage. But there's no way to know for sure. I know for a fact that this is a 2-cell 7 cage, which means it's either a 3-4 or a 2-5. But again, there's no way of actually knowing. But that is going to do a lot of damage on this cell down here once we do figure it out. lord. Alright, yeah, I do think I gotta go. So I will pause at 14:45 and I will go and then figure this stuff out later. No, I won't. Hang on. I can place an 8. There. Oh, gosh darn it. I am just the worst. This was so easy to freaking unwind, and I am just the absolute worst at this kind of thing. I planned to actually stop what I was doing, but I can't now. Yep, I was right. This was, in fact, a 2-cell. So that's good to know. Gives me a 7. Gives me a 14 cage. That could be either of them, I think. No, it can't, because this is a 9-5. So that's a 6 and that's an 8. Which gives me an 8 here. Oh, boy. This can't be 7-1, so there's a 1 here. This is a 3-5. Which means that's not 5. 15 can't be 7-8, so it's 9-6, and we know the order of it. This is just flying now, jeez. Okay, what is this? Oh, these match each other, so this will tell me exactly what I need to know for this. That's cool. Oh, let's just go ahead and place our 4 while we're here and thinking about it, so I don't mess that up later. That actually helps a lot, because now this has to be a 7-6. Okay. That's helpful, I think. Gives us a 7 in the bottom. Gives us a 9 there. Another 7 cage. Which could very well be a 1-2-4, now that I'm thinking about it. That's a 9 cage, that's a 3. This is a 1-2-4. Because it's a 3-cell 7 cage. Which means that's a 5. That's a 2-4-2. 5-6 pair means this is a 5 and this is a 7. It's a 5. It's not a 2. This puzzle does seem to kind of just be falling right now, so there's not a whole lot of extra commentary to say. We have a 1-2-3 triple, which gives us a 4. Yeah, I would like to disambiguate this, but I don't really know how to just yet, which is unfortunate. Let me see. These cells here need to be a 4-9 pair, which we can actually do the order of. That's good. 5-6 pair means this cell is a 3, which should help us with the rest of this puzzle, actually. This needs an 8 and a 7, which we can do the order of again. 8-7 go in. Now, these two 7 cages, it is a 5-2 and a 3-4. There's a 4 right there. So this is your 5-2, which we can do the order of. And this, I will come back to this later. This is a 3-4, which we can also do the order of, which gives us all of our numbers for the 3-cell 6 cage. That's another 3 in the corner. I love it. This really is being in the spotlight, and I absolutely love that I am finally getting the chance to do a Fog of War Sudoku. I love this constraint so much, and it's taken me a long time to actually get the nerve to do a Fog of War Sudoku puzzle. because of how like seemingly difficult they are, but they're really not that bad once you get used to it. The biggest problem that I have with doing Sudoku puzzles is the explaining of things, because I've never really been that great at explaining. That is not a 3 brain. That is clearly a 6. There we go. And this one is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This needs to be a 7. Sometimes you just gotta count it out. I could have done a lot better on that puzzle as far as the time goes, just because of the interruptions and me forgetting that I was paused or not paused or whatever, but yay! Congrats, you have solved the puzzle and the solution is correct. Only 304 people have solved it. That is ludicrous because of how absolutely fun and delightful that puzzle was. But if you guys did enjoy my rambling for some reason, let me know, and hopefully I can bring some more variant Sudoku to the channel. I really do want to get better at explaining things, especially with another Sudoku video that I have that I'm working on. I don't really think that it went that great, so I would like to get better at explaining things, explaining the rules a little bit. For me, these are fairly self-evident and self-explanatory for what the rules actually are and what they do, but it's the application of said rules that can be tricky. But I didn't even have to use any coloring in this, and I am very ecstatic. My biggest problem was not seeing that you could place an 8, which gave me that this was a 3-cell cage, which just unwound everything. So honestly, if you're good at actually spotting the digits that you give yourself, then you can actually do this puzzle very, very efficiently, and I would highly recommend anybody who is new to Fog of War Sudoku or to Killer Cage Sudoku to give this a shot, because it will help teach you how cages work and how row and column logic work. Because once you get this is a 1-3 pair, you know that the 1 goes here and the 1 goes here, and then from there you can just, you know, litter the grid with various digits once you get them. So it flows very well, flows very easy. This is a 5-star puzzle for me, just from a sheer fun perspective. Fog of War puzzles always are. So let me know what your guys' favorite constraint is. Personally, it is not Killer Cages. I struggle hardcore with math. You've seen me on my 16 cage up here. I didn't know what was what. So let me know what you guys' favorite variant is. Mine is probably German Whispers, especially if you can combine those with Fog of War. It is very, very fun and magical. So again, thank you guys so much for watching and for listening to me ramble on about Sudoku, and I hope to catch you guys down the road for more puzzling. If you are into other kinds of puzzle games, I do have a puzzle channel with Jonas, my guy. So if you guys are interested in that, that will be linked down in the description below under the Connect with Jonas tab, where you guys can go and check out other puzzle games that he and I have done together. We've done games like Hex Cells, various chess variant games, Minesweeper varieties, and the like. So be sure to check that out if you're interested, and I will catch you guys down the road for more variant Sudoku, I hope, in the future. Have a joy-filled day, y'all.